Perfect. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Business Profit Acceleration Group Coaching, where our motto is just start it. And that doesn't mean start without any preparation. It just means don't get into that analytical or fear-based stuckness. Oftentimes, it takes 5 seconds of courage to get going, and then you'd be amazed at what you can accomplish.
Is that the stuckness? Is that what they call analysis paralysis?
Yeah, great addition there, Chris, and welcome. And what is this coaching about? It's about business profit acceleration. Yes, we want to make more money. We want to get more clients. We want to help more people. But it also think about when you are making as much money as you want, when you have geographic and time and financial freedom, what else can you do? What have you given up in your life that you're not doing anymore? Life goes so fast. And as entrepreneurs, we can work half time, 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. That's a joke. But we want to get that free time. So welcome. And the other reminder I want to say is this: be on time. You guys were awesome today. Be coachable, open-minded. This is about your life and your goals. This is definitely not about me. I happen to be in a position where I've helped hundreds of businesses over 16 years, and I get to share wisdom from them. You guys get to pitch in. It's positive, it's supportive. If anybody is sharing something and you feel vulnerable about it, please go ahead and share it, and just let me know if you want that cut out of the video. So this is a safe, confidential, supportive environment. We're going to go over entrepreneurial corporate culture. So that's purpose, mission, vision, and values, core values. Why are we doing this? And for some of you who've been in the program for a while, why are we doing this again? Sometimes it's good, if you've done this thoroughly, it's good to go back and review this on an annual basis. And there's some new people, and there are people that listen to this and had great intentions of doing this, but didn't necessarily do it, or did it in their head, but didn't write it down. And there's incredible value. At one point, I thought, oh, this is just for corporations. This isn't for solopreneurs or sole proprietors or, small business owners. But the more I work with people, the more this helps. And what I would do, if you haven't done this thoroughly yet, is just block out a half hour for each of these sections. When I sit down and do this with people one-on-one, we can cover all 4 of these in about an hour and 15 minutes. So those 4, again, are purpose, vision, mission, and core values. So this is like building a house. You don't want to build a house on swampland or sand. You want a strong foundation, and you want something that's scalable. And when you do all these things, and I'll explain exactly how to do each section, you get really grounded and connected with your why. What's your passion? What's going to get you through the tough times when you're stuck? It's our why and our passion and our purpose in life that keeps us going and gets us back on track. These also help with decision making. The vision is going to be crystal clear, and you'll know when you're off track. You'll feel it, and you'll know when you're making progress. The mission is milestones and measurable results. So you'll know when you're on making great progress. You also know when you arrive and it's time to do this again and set new goals. It also, as you build team or partner with people, it helps them get to know you, but it also helps them be in alignment with the future. And the future we're going to create in today's hour, or next 45 minutes, is going to pull us into action strongly. Now, there's a book called Traction by Gino Wickman. And I love traction. How many people love just being super busy and not getting anywhere, like a hamster wheel? What? No hands raised? So I was talking about traction. I was talking about action. I was working with a client who was stuck and not doing her action items. And she was really into the law of attraction and manifestation. And I'm really into that too. But, like in the movie The Secret, if you dream of a sports car and sit there in your chair, most of the time, nothing's going to happen. Like a sports car isn't going to appear in your carport. But the way the law of attraction works is crystallizing your vision, your mission, your values, your purpose, and then taking the correct action. So I asked her, what's the last part of the law of attraction? And I was trying to get her to say action, and she said traction. I said, great. So that's how these all fit together. Start with the law of attraction, which is a bit of what we're doing here, and then take the proper actions to get where you want to go. And that leads to traction. All right. We're going to jump right into the purpose statement. Actually, let me share a little bit. I have 2 marketing mentors. And this is really about a lot of the exercises we do, a lot of the teaching. Who's familiar with J. Conrad Levinson or Seth Godin? If you aren't familiar, I would write them down and look them up. J. Conrad Levinson, Seth Godin, that's SethGodin. J. Conrad Levinson wrote Guerrilla Marketing. And I call that the Bible of entrepreneurial marketing. Now, there are, incredible texts for corporate marketing, but J. Conrad Levinson really wrote Guerrilla Marketing for us, for small business, for solopreneurs. You do things differently when you don't have a whole marketing department. You don't have hundreds of thousands of dollars in your marketing budget. And it's a sizable book, and it's packed with information, but I would say sometime in 2021, read that book. I highly recommend it. And J. Conrad Levinson and Seth Godin wrote, the secret of a business/marketing plan is that it will enable you to see your ultimate goal with clarity, making minor setbacks and failures along the way unimportant. Just as important, a plan helps you communicate your vision to your employees, ad agencies, and investors. And there's a guy named Coach Jim. He says, thoroughly completing a comprehensive marketing plan is designed to get you at least 10x improvement in the ROI, return on investment, of your marketing efforts, time, and money. So that's what we're up to. Who wants 10 times the results from your marketing efforts? Yeah, everybody, come on. 2 hands in the air. All right, how do we do that? We're going to start with the purpose statement. And the big word that relates to this is why. What's your story? What's the story behind your business? What's your passion? What was your initial dream? What's the need that's out there? And who do you help? Why did you start your business? What's your story behind the business idea? What are you passionate about? What's the need and or how can you help people? And then even bigger than ourselves, like what's your purpose on the planet? What's the benefit to community, country, and world? Who has some thoughts or things that you've written down for your business purpose?
I do. It's probably what it started with, but it's continually comes back to kind of purposes, to help people feel and understand their value, right? And they're doing that through portraiture. And that's the kind of the mission purpose behind it, is that so much of us are, I don't take a good picture, I'm self-conscious. You are photogenic and you can take a great picture, and let me show you how we can do that, right? So look your best, feel your best, and then really feel your value as you look and reflect back on that image.
That's fantastic, Brad. And I think you really struck, the fourth bullet point on this slide is need. And need could also be defined as problem, challenge, fear. And a lot of people are scared, uncomfortable with getting their picture taken. And what you just shared, that's your purpose, your why, is to help people feel good about themselves and help them feel more comfortable going into the process and getting started, and feel not just feel good about themselves, but then share incredible moments and memories. Thank you for that, Brad.
Mm-hmm.
Who else? Yeah, Claudia.
If I can unmute myself there, I'd just like to add something to that. I know for my photo shoot with Jen, I thought it was a headshot, so I thought it was going to be just my head. And I wore a blouse that I hadn't wore a lot of. It was kind of a new blouse, but it to me, it just, kind of looks like a pregnancy blouse or something. And so I really wasn't crazy about this blouse, and the blouse is in all the shots. And I hadn't opened up the thing that she sent me from back in October, and she knew that, and I didn't realize she knew I hadn't opened it and downloaded it, and so I just told her, I said, oh, I wasn't crazy about the blouse I wore, and she said, oh, I thought you looked really cute. And so I think sometimes we're just too critical of ourselves, and sometimes we need people to point things out. So that sounds like a great idea, Brad.
Yeah, that's a great point. And the purpose statement, just to reiterate or clarify the value of this, in my coaching, back in 2005, 2006, when I started and went through intensive training, the first thing I learned is to find out about my clients' why. Where do they want to go and why? And the value is when they get stuck or they don't feel like doing their homework, or we agree this is where they want to go, these are the best steps to get there, and then they're not taking action. Good coaching practice, and good practice for all of us, is to go back to our why. If you're tired, you're burned out, have some self-care, get some rest, take a nap, drink some water, whatever you need to do, breathe, and then go back to your why. And it doesn't have to be a long manifesto. It can be a paragraph or two and be really powerful. Any questions on purpose statement? All right, excellent. Let's go on to the vision statement. I love this quote by Steve Jobs. That was a guy that lived into a vision, I'll tell you. If you are working on something exciting that you really care about, you don't have to be pushed. The vision pulls you. So how does a vision pull you? What we're creating in your vision is a dream.
Mhm.
I call it crystallizing your vision. So it's written in the present tense as if it's already occurred. 2 to 5 years out, you don't want to go out too far out. It doesn't mean you don't have 10, 20, 30 year, visions, goals, dreams, but back into, what's a realistic time frame that you can really connect to. And this is your ideal future. You may not absolutely reach everything in your ideal future vision dream, but it guides you and it pulls you and it excites you.
Mhm.
And I encourage you to use all 6 senses. You're like, well, how do you use all 6 senses? Like, well, do people listen to music? Let's just imagine, this beautiful office building and you have team helping you. Do you hear, is the window open? Do you hear birds outside the window? Or do you hear people excitedly talking about strategy and mapping things out on a whiteboard? Do you have aromatherapy diffuser in your office, or is there a little kitchen in your office and you can smell somebody microwaving some popcorn? So see, those are maybe silly examples, but the point is your subconscious doesn't know the difference between reality and a crystal clear vision. It really does not. And that's what creates amazing things. Steve Jobs, he didn't know how, but he sure as heck knew what. And he was extremely committed and driven. And he's one of the few people that knew what consumers wanted without doing consumer research. He said, people don't know what they want. Like, he was a true visionary. I'm a huge fan of doing market research and surveying people and finding out what they want and what they need. And he's the one exception. So that's why I put him on this slide. So just to reiterate, the vision is what your ideal business will look like in 2 to 5 years. No limits, and get specific: products, services, team, clients, how they feel, what your company is known for or reputation, and write it as if it has already occurred in the present tense. Include all 6 senses. Make it so that it is crystal clear as in a vivid dream. And
Jim, can I add a piece to that?
please.
I think, at least for me, it's like we're really good at being able to sort of do these vision statements and so forth. But I think there's one key thing that I recently have learned, and I don't know, I just like to share that with you. And that is, once you have that vision, close your eyes and allow yourself to step into it. Like you said, Jim, if it's smelling that popcorn in the room, if it's, hearing the music in the background. I mean, there's a difference between you looking at it from afar as opposed to actually seeing yourself step into that picture yourself.
That's wonderful. Close your eyes. When you really crystallize your vision, you should be able to close your eyes and feel it, smell it, hear it, etc. Let's see how I did. And I just want to show you the Peak Business Coaching website and how you might be able to use this and share it. Now, people ask me often, well, I might have personal stuff in my vision or purpose or mission. You don't have to share everything. You can just take 3/4 of your vision and post it. We don't share all our financial goals with the public. So share what you want, use what you want. But some people are interested in this. Like, if you go to my About page, you can see values, mission, vision, and the story behind the logo. So some people find that interesting. And so let's go to the vision. Peak Business Coaching's guiding vision. Our purpose is to help small business owners to successfully navigate the trials and tribulations along the path of entrepreneurial growth, efficiency, and profitability We're dedicated to having our clients create streamlined processes and systems so that they can be on their business and have more free time to do what they love outside of their business. By partnering with us, our clients achieve the results they want with more ease, less risk, and faster than they could on their own, just as an Olympic or professional athlete would work with their coach. The Peak Business Coaching Superstar Business Model is a visual tool for our initial intake session and to ensure we have laser focus on the top priorities of our clients' goals and action plan. Our team consists of carefully selected coaches who have accomplished tremendous success and have mastery of coaching tools. We are compassionate and care deeply about our clients' results. We also believe in the principle of Kaizen, the Japanese word for continuous improvement, thus are constantly learning and growing ourselves. We do anything in our power to help our clients achieve success as defined by the client. We offer well-organized, informative seminars and workshops, helping hundreds and thousands of participants create the business and life of their dreams. We do careful and thorough research to ensure that our topics are in alignment with our clients' highest needs and are current with technology. Our books, information products, and videos are additional options for our clients to continue to advance in knowledge and skills. So that's pretty good from a left brain perspective and having people see what we're up to. And I have not achieved all these things yet. So I could definitely add more senses. You know, like really when the light bulb goes off with a client, or people text me and say, oh my God, I did an idea, I followed through on an idea you shared and my business is just rocking. Like that makes my day. I want to add some of that passion and some of that vision. So I guess this is a good example of, you know, I thought I did this pretty thoroughly and there's room for improvement, and that's fine. So, you know, get yours to 80, 90%. Don't worry about it being perfect. Any questions on vision statement?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, Claudia. I like how you raise your hand. You're getting to be a Zoom expert. That's awesome.
Actually, it's not actually so much about the vision statement. When you were talking about the popcorn, I think sometimes some people don't always know that they're smelling popcorn. And I think sometimes you have to point it out, kind of like Corinne was saying, you know, like when we were selling beds, it's like, can you picture this in your bedroom? Or when we sold a lot of saunas, it's like you'd have to point out the features that the stereo is inside. And the great idea about that is you don't have to open up the door, cool off your sauna, cool off your body to go change the stereo on the outside. And so I think sometimes you have to, or like Jen, I mean, it was amazing, her presentation. She wanted to know if the bridesmaid's dress, the bride's dress has buttons or zippers or hooks. And, you know, if there's an extended family and there's all these things that play in and people don't see this and you have to point it out. And I think that increases your value and your sellability. I don't know if I'm just throwing a bunch of stuff out there that's been popping in my mind right now.
Yeah, thank you so much, Claudia. That's fantastic.
So Jim, one of the things that a few people have said coming into the office this last week is it feels warm, it feels safe, it feels comfortable, you know, things like that. But I had a client I worked with this week that was referred and had a lot of big issues, and the fullness that I felt of being able to really connect with her, that's what I strive for all the practitioners in my office, and I don't know how to put that into words.
Okay. My encouragement would be to not try to create a vision statement or paragraph or sentence that's perfect. Just allow yourself to brainstorm on a piece of paper first and then sleep on it and edit it. And the other thing is don't put all the pressure for you to come up with this. Involving your team would be fantastic, and you'll be blown away by the ideas that they come up with and the sentences that they come up with. So you just share the idea and they can come up with something. And you and I have worked together on your marketing plan. You can go back to that paragraph and expand upon it. So those are some ideas that help us when we're feeling stuck, or, it isn't a matter of you don't know how to put it into words. You just haven't put it into words yet. And you
Okay.
feel like you're stuck. So that's a great time to reach out to other people and say, hey, do you have any ideas? And people love helping. And the whole foundation, the team, the direction, the more you involve your team, it's kind of like coming up with an employee manual without talking to your employees. They're going to be like, what the hell is this? So the more we involve our team, the more we involve others, the stronger it will be.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up. All right, let's move on to the mission. Anybody read the book Good to Great?
Mm-hmm.
That really, just those words, good to great, epitomize what all of us are up to, and that's why we're here. James Collin is the author, and I think he coined the term BHAGs, big, hairy, audacious goals. So I know you guys are familiar with the SMART acronym: specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-based. And remember, the T stands for thrilling, not time-based. The M, measurable, always put a deadline in your goal, by the end of 2021 or something along those lines. And then when you have your big, hairy, audacious goals, back into milestones. Like if you want to run a 5K, 3.1 miles, and you haven't run for 10 years, an important milestone might be to walk a half mile.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next milestone would be to jog a quarter mile, and then jog a half mile, and so on. So that's where milestones are measurements that tell you you're making progress towards your goal. And then your mission statement should be so expansive that there's no flipping way that you can do it yourself. So let me say that in different words. Your mission statement is key future time-based accomplishments, or BHAGs, big, hairy, audacious goals. Milestones, financial goals, be smart, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and thrilling. How will you know that you're making progress? How will you know when you've arrived? Let's look at an example of a guy I know. So the Peak Business Coaching mission is to help 10,000 small business owners make an additional 10,000 a month with one more day off per week by the end of 2025. So that's pretty simple. I may not make it by 2025, but this is what drives me. Group coaching is an example of leverage, but I'm going to need to get like 100 people in group coaching. I'm going to need to do workshops. I'm going to need to get more coaches. I'm going to need to expand my marketing and continuously improve my processes and my teaching, or R. See how it goes from I to we.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Other examples include like Microsoft. I don't know how many years ago it was, maybe 25 years ago, said that they were going to put a personal computer in every home in the United States. And they've pretty much done that. Disney, be the happiest place on earth. I don't know how they measure that, but I believe they've really done that. So It can be a simple, powerful statement. Anybody have anything they want to share on this, or examples or questions?
I love Disney.
Yay.
Like just the whole culture that they've built, the way that everything's done, the way they instill that with their people, and it's just phenomenal. Like if you can ever go to, there are actually programs that for Disney University, if you can ever do anything like that, if you're, it's just a fantastic experience to do.
Absolutely. And hold on one second, Chris, because I want to build on what you said, Stacy, because it's so like the mission to be the happiest place on earth. Maybe that sounds impossible, but they have really done it. And they're not just saying, let's make this happiest place on earth for our customers, but for all the actors, for all the service providers, for the people that clean up trash. They have incredible training. They have incredible, team spirit. Everybody associated, the vendors are happy. Yeah, Chris.
Well, I was going to say when you're working with them, it can be a different experience, because I've had both sides where Disney was a client in my former life, and they're very demanding with what they expect from their vendors. So you got to be able to up your game and make sure you meet their expectations.
Okay. Yeah, and just because we have a mission like that doesn't mean we're going to be perfect and that every employee is happy all the time. And I think that what that really points to is they're so clear on their mission, their vision, their values, their purpose, that they can be demanding in order to have their client experience.
Right.
And
you wouldn't achieve it if they
sometimes being demanding up, and you said ups people's games, that could be good for the vendor. Yeah, great. Chris?
I can't resist bringing this up, but I'm gonna have to run. I couldn't reschedule the meeting, but I'm loving everything that we're going over, Jim. And I felt I've got a client that I'm doing the sales and sales strategy and execution. And I find that even though my client is a lot more marketing based, he owns a marketing agency, but I find that it's difficult to get people thinking about this stuff. I've asked him if he's got a coach, I'm trying to kind of indirectly mention that revenue is not all it's about. It's easy to make revenue once you've got these items figured out, and this presentation is really going to help me make that point. But I'm just wondering, Jim, is it how it's tough as a sales guy to say revenue isn't the most important thing. Have you thought about this and that? It would really result in much easier selling. So it's not a point that if we can, maybe it's not the perfect time for it, but I just thought I'd share that.
No, that's a great question, and let me just see if I can add some insight that helps you and many of us. So the why for that client might be revenue. And the first thing is to give people what they want, not what they need. So you probably know what they need, but they're not going to be open to that right away. So I would get clearer on their why. So what I mean by that is how much revenue, by when, and what would they do with additional revenue or additional profits? Would they fund their kids' college? Would it go towards retirement? Would they travel? Do they have a really cool watch that they want to buy? Like, there's no judgment around that, but that's going to get them, you helping them get what they want. And then, do some tactical, fish for them, teach them a little bit of fishing. And then you can go into, hey, do you want even more? Do you really want to go big? And that's when you can share these foundational principles, but you can also share that when people are focused, and this is a really strong learning. there was a time in 2008 where I lost a boatload of money, a big boat. And my ego was hurt. I was failing. I wanted to make that money back. And when I focused on making the money back and my ego, I failed miserably. When I got back to the basics and I got back to my purpose and that I really want to help people and I want to solve problems and I came from the heart, then things started taking off again.
Jim, can I offer something else to Chris?
Please.
Chris, in your presentation, and I'm just sensing that it might be a help. In your key word there was the revenue. That's a big word. What if you change that word to abundance?
Mm-hmm. I like that.
Yeah, and it's really up to the client what the words mean and what resonates with them. And abundance
Exactly.
and prosperity are great words and abundance can include other things. So I really like that, Corinne. Abundance can be having time, having energy, as well as money.
It almost makes the goal bigger than money.
Okay, fantastic.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Jim, Corinne, everybody. I really appreciate that. It's definitely a nice way to pivot and gets me away from staring down that problem and gives me some creative ways to work around it. So thank you for that.
Yeah,
Good
you're
luck.
very welcome. And thank you, Corinne. I know you got to go, Chris, but thanks for being here. And I'm recording this, and so I will send this out in the next week or so.
Thank you so much.
Now, the next section is core values, and I love this. Defining your core values and really getting clear on these helps you be in integrity. Why would we want to be in integrity? Sometimes shortcuts are a much faster way to make money. I mean, we've all seen that. Crime can be a great way to make money, but ultimately it creates fear, it creates anxiety, it creates exhaustion. When we're in integrity, when we're true with our true selves, our core selves, things come easier, things are more efficient, and we're more relaxed. And I'm a huge fan. Why do business differently than you would act in person? So I'm a proponent of mixing personal and professional values. And you want to narrow it down to 5. And your words that you choose, your core value words, can mean whatever you want them to mean. So you'll choose one word and then expand on it. You can also take a word like truth, and truth can have synonyms like honesty, being on time, doing what you say you're going to do. I chose the word integrity, and I'll give you an example in a second. But it's a guide. It's the guiding light that lets you know when you're off track, when you're not feeling good about something you did or you're thinking about doing. You can go back to your core values and really be the best person that you can be. And it helps you guide your company as well. So if you could only have 5 core values, 5 core business values, what would they be? Brainstorm a list of your favorite values. So you could brainstorm a list of 20, 30, 50 values and then narrow down to your top 5. You can have several values lumped into one core value, synonyms often, to help you narrow down to 5. And if you get stuck and you're wondering what are values? I don't know what you mean, Jim. I don't know how to get started. So this morning I just did a Google search on 100 core values. There's a bunch of lists, like 50 common personal values, 200 personal values, 100 values to live by. So it's really easy to get started. And then just, print these out and then highlight your favorites. And then, narrow down to 10 and then narrow down to 5. So it can be a bit of a process. And I want to give you another example. So the values, I love birds. I love the freedom of flying, and watching them soar. And then bald eagles just have this feeling of, I don't know, respect. There's something, that's why I chose that image. But so I have integrity, love, helping others, freedom, and health. And as much as possible, I embody these values. Some people might be like, well, love? Why do you have love on your business values? You could use customer service. You can use whatever you want, teamwork. So let's use that as an example. Love. We choose to make decisions from the heart. It is said that we can experience either fear or love at any one moment, not both. Love means accepting others as they are. To us, it also means holding our clients at their highest potential, and sometimes even loving our clients more than they love themselves. What would love do? I love that sentence. If I'm stuck or I don't know where to go, and I go from my fear, my head, my ego to my heart, I make much better decisions. Healthy relationships, effective communication, and intimate connection is what life is all about. And for me, love and intimate connection isn't about, like physical intimacy. It's about, being vulnerable and sharing our secrets and really getting down to the humanity. So I like that example because it takes a word that's really meaningful to me, but then I expanded upon, what do I mean by that? Because people could misconstrue love, and it means so many things to so many different people. So this is just an example of how you can create what it is that you want for yourself, your business, your team. Any questions on core values? Any inspired thoughts?
I can share mine.
Oh, wonderful.
I'll say this though, I have to, right now it's me and Ryan, and we're kind of to the point of where we've got to bring other, more help in here. And so I have to work on like really making this a part of who we are, but it's just what I put to paper so far. And so my values are grounded in the acronym growth, because growth is what I want my business to do, right? And that's not just through revenue growth, but it's also through being able to support the community, being able to support employees to grow in the things that they want to do as well. So that acronym, it's not just a single word, but so G is give back, right? I want to be able to give back to the community, and I have different organizations that are important to me for different reasons. And so, as we continue to grow and contribute more, those are the, there's certain organizations that I want to target to give back to. But not also just those organizations, but in the community, in the larger community as well. Respect Earth. There's so much waste in the things that we do every day in day out. And so we try to limit that here as much as we can. And I fully believe in reuse, repurpose. I live that in my life, in my business, but also, at home personally. I think we need to do more in that regard. O is open communication. And I want to have an environment internally where people feel free to share their ideas, their fears, their thoughts about what's working well and what's not working well in the company. And then W is just willing to challenge the status quo and to change, right? Let's not get stuck in that rut of where this is the way that we've always done it, because things evolve and we need to evolve with that. Trust is the T, and that is, build it and keep it, in our interactions with one another, in our interactions with our customers as well, and everything that we do. And then the last one, H, is humility. That is a very large cultural value.
but also it just kind of speaks to the fact that, you know, with humility, you have to recognize that you can't do everything on your own. You have to rely on one another, you know, in order to be successful in the things that you do. So that's growth.
That is so great, Stacy. And what you brought with your acronym was a fantastic, not only a fantastic example, but you know, you do print and sign work, and so I can totally picture in your office and in everybody's office, you know, the growth acronym with the words or the paragraphs in a framed, nice graphically designed print. And it's, you know, when you're having a tough day or you're feeling like taking a shortcut or being mean to somebody, or whatever our humanity brings, they can look at that and be reminded. And I think that it goes for the purpose, the vision, the mission, and the values. We want to involve our team in this creation. And if we don't involve the team in giving input or ideas or editing or improving, and then how do we live those? You know, so the mission is our big goals that pulls us forward. The vision gives us clarity of what we're trying to achieve at longer term. The purpose gets us unstuck. And then the values are our guiding lights. Wow.